10 years ago, you guys wouldn't have recognized me. You wouldn't have known who I was. You probably wouldn't even want to know me. I was kind of like Paul. When Paul first became a Christian, a lot of people, they rejected him because of the things that he was doing in the world. And likewise, I was the same way. So I'll take you back to 10 years ago. I was a Protestant. I was lost in the world. I thought I had Jesus, but I was never applying nothing to my life. I knew the Bible, but did I really know Christ? And then all of a sudden, I find myself in prison. I'm lost. I'm losing myself. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to see the light of day again. I don't get to be with my family. I killed a very beautiful man. I was struggling with myself. I actually wanted to hang myself. And it wasn't until I called my son up and he didn't even want to talk to me. I killed somebody in a car accident. He's like, "You're not a Christian, Dad." And I wanted to lose myself. I wanted to give up. My son gave up on me. I turned my back on God. I had relapsed to drugs, gangs, violence. And now I found myself in this position. I called my son up. I was going to hang myself. I seriously was. I was going to hang myself. I wasn't reading the Bible. I would literally get the Bible when people would come to my door, and I would throw it out there because I just didn't want nothing to do with it. I just felt like I was just a shameful person. I didn't deserve it. And it wasn't until I got on the phone. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was my son. I always get touched up when I talk about this too because I was this close to being weak-minded, being... Just the devil had me in despair, and I just didn't know who I was in Christ, just trying to clear from all the drugs and stuff. But I called my son up, and I just wanted to tell him how much I was proud of him, and tell him how much that I love him, and at that moment, I don't know if it was from what I was saying, or if it was from God, telling him, "I need you to tell your dad this," because God, as of now, I see that he got something bigger planned for me, and my son tells me, "I love you, Dad." He tells me, "I love you, and I love you, and I forgive you, and that one day we'll see each other again." And I was like, "What?" And I went back into my cell real quick, and I got on my knees, and I said, "Lord, I got I made a noose out of some sheets, and I got it, and I threw it away, and I got on my knees, and I started crying. I said, Lord, if I have to do life in prison, please just use me. Please just use me. Please just use me." That was I just kept on telling him that, please. I see that I have a life still. Because I knew the Bible. It's not like I was in there and I didn't know the Bible. I did. And so in that time, I met Father Porter. And he told me, "You forgive yourself?" And I was kind of hard on myself. And I was like, it's hard for me to forgive myself. How can I forgive myself? And he's like, "Who do you think you are?" He was a big guy too. He's from South Africa. And he stands up and he tells me, "Who do you think you are? That God forgives you, and you're telling me God forgives you, but you won't forgive yourself." But something started shifting in my life. And so what I started doing was I made a plastic rosary. That was always my toughest thing, was the Blessed Virgin. But the more I started reading the scriptures, I started seeing that she was there active in every part of my king's life. Even before my king came down from heaven and was put in our womb, our eternal salvation was put in our womb, she was always active, even to the cross, even in the upper room. And so I started praying the rosary. And it was tough at first. But, my past, I never got along with my mom. I never got along with women. I've always been a womanizer. I started praying the rosary every day. And now I have this relationship. She allows me to know that I'm not alone. Because there's times where I'm trying to transform my life and I feel alone because my family only sees who I was in the past. They don't see who I am today. But the Blessed Virgin, she constantly tells me that she loves me, and she's constantly praying for me. And I know this from the bottom of my heart. Every time I'm praying the rosary and I'm meditating on whether it's the joyful mysteries, the glorious mysteries, that she's right there with me and she's embracing me, and that I'm never alone.